It's been a while.
Remember that hole I dug? All right, first load dropped. Well, that didn't take long. All right, well, if you're wondering if farming is dangerous, it is.
Hello. It's been a while. If you've seen our community post or have been following along with our journey, you know that Joe and I have undergone some big life changes recently. We just had a daughter. Her name is Lucy, so we'll probably show a little bit of footage of her. But just because we had a baby doesn't mean anything slows down. So here's our newest addition, other than Lucy. Yep, we got a dump truck. So, baby and dump truck, our newest additions to the farm. The dump truck is gonna be really handy, especially, of course, with our continued barn project and moving dirt. It can hold a lot more than that little barn, that little trailer we have. So, this is a good addition. Joe's very excited about it. So, let's see his thoughts.
All right. We bought a dump truck.
Just saying how excited you are about it.
Very excited. Yeah, it's fun. I know why people like to drive dump trucks now. And also, sometimes I think we've done this before, but we have to spend money to save money, and it's gonna save us a ton of money, even in the short term. So end up paying for itself probably in just a couple months.
Yeah.
But totally understand why people like to drive dump trucks. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty
seems
cool.
like it. It'll be very handy.
Yep. So we're not done with the pad. Now we can take it down to that big old pit that we were digging and keep on digging, move some more dirt. We'll be able to move dirt a lot faster. And we did change the plans of barn a little bit, so we actually need to make the plot. Wow. The pad a little bigger. So we need a bunch more dirt to get that done. We won't be able to go down the hill and back up the hill. This is a lot heavier, and it's rained a little bit since then, but we can go the long way, which isn't really that long, and it should be good.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get to moving some dirt again.
Yep, as usual.
Yep, stick around. All right, remember that hole I dug? Well, it's not a hole anymore. It's now a small pond. So that is a very large hole. It's about 8 feet-ish deep, and it is completely full of water. We went from having a drought to anywhere from 9 to 11 inches of rain, depending on where you are in North Carolina. I think here we got roughly 9 to 10 inches of rain. And that hole filled up, but I don't think it just filled up from rain. I actually think it filled up with groundwater, and it looks like we're basically at the water table here. So I got the dump truck. It's Friday afternoon. We're not really planning on doing much. The now middle daughter used to be the youngest, and now she's the middle daughter. She's actually doing some brush hogging because this field is about 3 months past due, needing to be mowed. The dog fennel's starting to grow up, and we need to get it cut before it goes to seed and makes things worse. We're really just trying to prep for tomorrow and do a little practice run here with the dump truck. Haven't brought down here before. I want to make sure the ground was firm enough, because the last thing I want to do is get that dump truck stuck in this field. So, man, it's been a bit. We had a baby and we haven't done much. The last time I worked on this was maybe 4 weeks ago. I don't think I've done it since the baby was born, so that would be 4 weeks ago. She turned a month yesterday. But I had changed the fuel filters on the Big X and it was running great. So I'm gonna hook the battery back up. Hopefully it runs great, and we can just do one test run with the dump truck and make sure everything works right. So let's see how this goes. All right, this is a good sign. Started right up. So I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit. And I guess I'm gonna start a new hole. What's interesting is that hole right there isn't even really a hole. It's like 6 inches deep. All it is has the topsoil scraped off, and that's holding water too. So you can see this is 100% clay down here, and making this pond bigger it's gonna hold water. I decided that once, you know, we're actually gonna shift some resources towards making this pond bigger and fixing the pond, because we're gonna use this for irrigation for the blueberries. After figuring out how much it was gonna cost to drill a well and all the other associated items for irrigation, it was just getting out of hand with cost, and it was gonna take us 15 years of selling blueberries to try to get that money back. So we're just gonna set up here. We're on a pump through a filter and pump it up to a large tank, and then gravity feed down the hill for irrigation for the blueberries. It should work just fine. Again, this is just groundwater here. This, even with the hole in the dam, there's a big hole in the dam. I'd go over and show you, but it takes like a half an hour to get over there by foot because it's so overgrown. Even with that massive hole in the dam, this thing's staying pretty full. So we get that dam fixed and we make this thing, I'd say once we're done, it'll be a full acre bigger. That's a lot of water. That's a lot of water. And we shouldn't have any problems with water. So that's the plan. Again, I'm gonna let this thing warm up, and then we're gonna just do one load in the dump truck. It's more so just as a trial run. Don't ask me how many more loads. I have no idea how much dirt we're gonna need. But I do know that today it's August 2nd, and the barn's getting built in 17 days, and we're not done moving dirt. We need to move dirt, plus I need to get 100 tons of gravel. So again, this is going to be a test run. We're going to do one test run just to get our feet under us with the dump truck. I'm going to teach my middle daughter how to use the dump truck, because she's going to be the dump truck driver, which is what all 14-year-old girls, they strive to be in life, is a dump truck driver. All right, well, I was wrong, as I often am most of the time, and it just ran out the fuel that was in the lines. So clearly sitting a month, it leaks out enough fuel where it won't stay primed. So I had to take everything off, fill it up with fuel, and then it did start right back up. It's running fine now. It is low on hydraulic fluid, but I just want one dump truck full, and we'll fill it up after the fact. I'll probably be wrong about that too, but let's just give it a try. As you can see here, I did scratch out one bucket. I haven't put it in the dump truck yet. Dump truck is right here, and I'm just guessing that that's the right spot for it to be. We'll figure that out as we go. So let's see how this goes. All right, dump truck's full. I didn't count how many scoops it was. I think it was 6. I think it was 6 scoops. That's a lot of dirt. Let me show you here. That's probably 12 or 14 yards of dirt. That would have normally taken us like 4 loads, 3 to 4 loads, doing it in one. But there's a couple other things that we need to worry about. We drove out here with an empty dump truck that weighed 20,000 pounds. And now we're heading out with a full dump truck that weighs like 45,000 pounds. So that's good. It's not an off-road dump truck. This is an on-road dump truck. And then the other thing is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the power pole. There are power lines that run all the way across this field and right along the pond. So we're fine over here. We can't hit them. And with a little excavator, it'd be really hard to hit them. But with this big one, it'd be very easy to just rip them down. So when we pull back that edge, we'll have to do that with a little excavator to stay out of the power lines. That is a bad day for everyone. So let's try to run this dump truck load up there and see what happens. All right, up in the dump truck. It's really easy to drive. It has automatic Allison transmission, so just release the park brake, their air brakes, and then put it in drive. If we were going on the road, there's a drop axle, and I would drop that down because you have to. There's only so much weight you can run on one axle. But we're not going on the road. We're going up the driveway, and this thing does not turn that well with the drop axle down. But with the drop axle up, it turns on a dime. Like probably the tightest turning vehicle I own, which is crazy because it's a dump truck. But that's the truth. So we're gonna head up the hill here. So far this is going really well. It's really, even though we've gotten 11 inches of rain, the ground is really hard out here, which is great. So we got a little bit of a tight turn to get out of this field onto the driveway. Might be a bear, but we'll get her done. All right, first load dropped. Dump truck has a liner, so it all slides out real nice. I tried an experiment. I tried backing up onto the pad with the dump truck with it loaded, and it was a little too sandy. Almost got stuck, so I dropped it right there. We can move it with the rest of the equipment, but that worked out really well. I don't know if my 14-year-old is gonna be able to drive the dump truck at low speed. It's a bear to turn. Like, I mean, it was wearing me out. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. She's a tough girl, but she's 14 and she doesn't have huge arms, so I mean, my arms are whooped just after that one run. I don't know how many we need. I'm not even gonna guess. I don't know. 20, 30, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right, Saturday morning, 10:30. We had a couple other things we had to do prior to get going this morning, but getting things warming up. So the dump truck's warming up, and you know how it goes around here. I was gonna start the small excavator because it's easier to spread the dirt with that because it has that dozer blade on the front of it, and the battery's dead. Battery's never died on that thing, but I don't know that I've ever let it sit for a month, and it's one of the only pieces of equipment that doesn't have a kill switch, so seems like it might need one. And it won't jump either, and I don't have time to deal with that. Pretty much, you know, you guys know how I deal with things around here. I just move on and get back to it when I can. So middle child is going to be doing brush hogging because we really figured out that there's just no way she was gonna be able to drive that dump truck fully loaded at slow speed off-road. It's a bear to turn, and that wasn't gonna be effective. So she's gonna brush hog, and then when she's done brush hogging, we'll just switch out to the bucket on the skid steer and spread the dirt that way. You know, we might have to stop and do that somewhere in between if we get too many loads of dirt sitting over here, because it's once you get behind, it's a little harder to spread it out. But anyway, dump truck's warming up. Once that warms up, I'm gonna drive it down the excavator, get the excavator warming up, and top off the hydraulic tank on the excavator, and then we should get to digging dirt and moving dirt. It takes 6 scoops to fill the dump truck, and that's somewhere between 12 and 14 yards of dirt. And quick math, it's twice as fast. And it's probably a little faster than that, but it's twice as fast as moving dirt the other way. And a lot less commute time. So don't ask me how many loads of dirt. Everyone asks, I don't know. I apparently am like literally terrible at guessing how much dirt needs to be moved to finish it off. So we're gonna keep going until we're done. And that'll be when everything is at all at the same level. Super hot today, super humid, so it's gonna be a long one. And anyway, I won't bore you to death with actual dirt moving too much, and we'll just show you our progress a couple times during the day. All right, that's what 3 loads of dirt with the dump truck looks like. And that's 1 from yesterday, 2 from today. That took, I don't know, 20 minutes, probably 10 minutes a load. So it's actually probably 3 times faster moving dirt than it is with the dump trailer. Unfortunately, I can't back up onto the pad any further because this top layer is a little sandy, and that's, you know, it's an on-road dump truck, not an off-road dump truck. So it starts to spin out in the sand and I'll get stuck real easy. And I have big excavators having a moment, so it's always the same issue with this thing. Well, it's two issues. It's either batteries. Batteries are great today, or it's the fuel system. And today it's the fuel system. At some point, I mean, everything around here needs maintenance, and we're just so strapped for time. But once the barn is built, we'll be able to slow down a little bit, and that'll be nice. Because we're just really running on shoestring and bubble gum around here. It's very frustrating. So we just need to get past this little hump here, and then everything can get proper maintenance. We'll need to drain out that fuel system because there's clearly just gunk in there, and that gunk gets up in the fuel filters, and then I gotta empty them out and refill it all and reprime the whole system. And it takes a bit. It still is going to be way fast. Well, the other excavator isn't working because the battery's dead. And I might just, we have extra batteries around here. I might just spend 30 minutes replacing the battery because it just makes sense. So anyway, that's what 3 loads of dirt looks like. You know, this pad looks a lot different than the last time you saw it because the sun has bleached it. Between the rain washing out some of the sediment and I think the sun bleaching out the clay, it's very white. It looks like a beach down in Tampa. That's what it reminds me of. And it just has this probably half-inch layer of kind of sandy material on top. But it's extremely hard out here. Not hard enough to drive the dump truck on, but extremely hard. And I know you guys can't see it, but we slope off about 4 feet here in the corner, most of the way across the back, and then it goes up. So we're getting there. We did make the cement pad is going to be 12 feet longer, so we do have to make this longer. I'm going to try to push most of that out in the front, and maybe I've already said that and I'm old and I repeat myself, but it's way easier to put in an extra foot of dirt across the front than it is to put in an extra, you know, 5 feet of dirt all the way across the back. We need to be done. All right, I'm gonna get back at it. All right, we're back at it again today. It's Sunday morning, and it rained a lot last night, so I'm just slowly making my way across the field. It's wet, which means I'm not gonna get a lot of traction because this is an on-road dump truck, and those tires they don't have a lot of tread on them. I mean, they do for on-road, but not off-road. And I'm just gonna be looking for squishy spots in the field. I might even try dropping the tag axle to try to spread the weight. It does make it really hard to turn, especially off-road will be a bear, but hopefully everything works well today. Kind of have a mixed bag of different priorities we got to get done today, but I'm hoping everything works well enough that we can get 5 loads. That's my goal, because we need to wrap up kind of early, and we have 14 days, literal 2 weeks to get this done before the builder shows up. So here's the hoping. Well, that didn't take long. Made it about 100 feet and we are stuck. So those tires are spinning, and we found the squishy spot. It is squishy. So now Joe has to try to figure out how to pull out a 20,000-pound dump truck out of a field. I think I got a little too far to that side. I remember yesterday there was a soft spot, and I got a little too far to that side of the field. This side of the field is firmer, and well, I messed up. That sucks. Well, there's no point in sitting here crying about it. Just got to figure out how to get it out. I'll get back to you. All right, we have a plan-ish. So daughter is right there in the skid steer, and that only weighs like half as much as this, but it does a really good job of pulling with those tracks and kind of spreads the load so it doesn't dig in like a truck would. And I'm not ready to try to bring the Big X all the way over here. So we're gonna try this and see how it works. I don't think I need a lot of a pull, just a little bit to get us moving, and then we'll get out of here. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's working like a charm. Pulling me right out. It just, I know it didn't need much, and that thing just pulls. So even though there's a real good chance I'm gonna get stuck again, I'm gonna try backing up across a different part of the field and see how that goes. All right, yeah, what I thought was gonna happen happened. Got stuck again. I mean, we didn't make it very far. This whole field, this is an empty truck, so a full truck wouldn't go anywhere. It would just sink right in, and then we'd have to dump it out and then try to drag it out of here. So unfortunately, with this rain, we're not gonna be able to use a dump truck. We're gonna switch to using the dump trailer, which is awful. It's gonna take literally 3 times as long, probably longer, because we're gonna have to go the long way. We're not gonna be able to go up the hill, because that you have to go through a really squishy spot, and it's so squishy right now. The truck would get stuck trying to go through there. But we gotta get some dirt moved. We're running out of time. There's some stupid tropical storm that's gonna come here in a couple days as well. It's gonna dump another 6 to 9 inches of rain. None of this is ideal, but you know, I guess this is how construction projects go, right? That's why they always run late and run over budget. So we're gonna go ahead and park the dump truck. We're just gonna drag it out with a skid steer. It pulls it right out of here, but I'm just gonna have her stay hooked up right until we get to the driveway. And then we'll put this away. We'll hook up the dump trailer and at least move some dirt. It's 11:30 and we've accomplished nothing so far this morning, and we really only have a couple hours left. So at this point, we probably won't be moving a whole heck of a lot of dirt. All right, it's noon now, and we're gonna try to load out a load of dirt here, load of clay, using that tiny little thing, which is what we've been on. But I wish I'd had more time yesterday and on Friday, because it was hard as a rock out here, and it was super easy driving the dump truck. I mean, not steering it, but it held up no problem. But this is what we got. This is what we're going to use. It shouldn't take too many scoops, 2, maybe 3, to fill this thing up, and then we'll get going. So we're going to move dirt, as much dirt as we can. Well, that happened. So skid steer's on its way down the hill. Pull Big Blue out of the mud, and I don't know, I really want to move dirt. We might just leave the skid steer down here, pull Big Blue across the field, because that's the only hope we have of moving dirt. We're not going to move it 1 skid steer bucket at a time. That would be ridiculous. It only takes 2 scoops to fill this thing with a Big X. So it's just a calamity of errors, and we're out of time. Let's get the thing pulled out of here and see what we can do. All right, well, if you're wondering if farming is dangerous, it is. So today did not go as any plan I could ever think of, and now it's pouring down rain again, and we basically didn't move any dirt. But everyone is healthy, and that's all that matters. No one got injured. So we're calling it quits. Life's an adventure. Maybe we shouldn't always keep it that way.